that they really should have done with Batman versus Superman. DC really drops the ball when it comes to sense of urgency. Batman versus Superman and Justice League. In Batman versus Superman, I think it would have been a zillion times better if they would have dropped the 100 storylines that they were trying to do in one movie and just focused on Batman ambushing Superman. Batman has all this time to prepare because he's still pissed off about the events from Man of Steel. His city got destroyed, people got killed. He feels that there are gods among him, so he ambushes Superman in his sleep, kryptonite everywhere. He's got plans, tactics. Superman is constantly on the defensive trying to escape. But the fact that they made it so it was mano-y-mano from the very beginning pulled me out of it. I really feel like it.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have Superman consciously knowing that he needs to stop Batman, and we've seen what Superman can do. Superman has taken on 3 other Superman-like Kryptonians, and yet he's having a hard time with a man. Like,
yeah,
come
and
on.
that highlights the biggest problem with that iteration of Batman. We've never actually gotten an on-screen representation of Batman in the sense of he is a superhero, because Batman has stood toe-to-toe against Darkseid and gotten the better of him because he has contingency on contingency on contingency. He has a backup plan for everything. And we've never actually seen that Batman in live action. So you're right. If that movie had just been Batman, the world's greatest detective, planning out a full-on assault with backups out the ass and was able to overcome Superman, it would have been far more compelling. Instead, we just see a Batman that isn't that interesting, isn't representative of the Batman that we know. I mean, he's straight up murdering people in that film, and it's like, okay, you're saying this is Bruce Wayne, you're saying this is Batman, but he didn't have his own movie, and this is not representative of the character that we know. If you want to do a fresh take, that's cool. Make a movie, do a fresh take, introduce us to this character. But they try to just shorthand all of it and go, well, you know who Batman is. It's like, yeah, I know who Batman is. I don't know who this person is. This is not Batman.
You're right. And yeah, I mean, there are a million other things wrong with the movie, including, Lex Luthor, or just, again, there's no sense of urgency that I felt like we need to stop Lex Luthor. We need to stop him from doing whatever the fuck he's doing with Doomsday. We need to, there's just none of that. And even
stuff just happens.
And even with the Justice League, same thing. If you compare it to Infinity War, the objective is clear. Our sense of urgency is we need to stop Thanos from getting all of the fucking Infinity Stones. And it's a clear objective of what the Infinity Stones do, their powers, who has them, and what Thanos is gonna do. And in the Justice League, yes, we have the mother boxes, but what do they do again? And are we really that scared of Steppenwolf? Like, to me, the best scene in the Justice League is when the Amazons are trying to stop him from getting the box. Why? Because they're, again, that sense of urgency of, oh shit, we need to stop this from happening. But again, that's the only real time I felt that. There's no other, like, in Atlantis, it was kind of whatever. And even with the Justice League fighting them at the end, there's just no real, like, we're just waiting for Superman to get here and then it'll be over. It's just like there was no stakes, I felt like, and it was just so much more clear and so much more well done in Marvel, which is a shame because I really like DC. But again, it's just they really dropped the ball with that sense of urgency.
And around the Civil War and Batman v Superman dropped around the same time, and the entire internet loved to point out how very similar those two movies are. And it's true, they are. I could try and explain it, but just go watch the Honest trailer. They do a full breakdown on it far better than I ever could, with just the whole plot points sprawled out across the screen. But the reason that Civil War works and Batman v Superman doesn't is Civil War is the culmination of multiple storylines. The plan in that isn't just like in Batman v Superman, it is as simple as Superman tore up a city in a fight, so Batman's scared, and Lex Luthor kidnaps Superman's mom, so he's forced into a situation he doesn't want to be in. And rather than just fly above Batman and say, "Hey, they kidnapped my mom. Will you please help me?" He goes down, is like, "I need to tell you something. Wait, we should talk. Can I tell you something?" In the time it took you to say those three sentences, you could have just blurted out what the issue was.
Right.
So it's just dumb start to finish. Whereas in Civil War, we get 3 movies of Iron Man just trying to do things himself and just seeing all the destruction that comes from him not having anyone to put him in check, not having anything to limit his decisions and the destruction and chaos it causes. Where with Captain America, we have 2 movies showing how just blind faith in the system leads to chaos and destruction. And it's only through the actions of morality and individuals that things actually get done and get set right. So we have 2 opposing ideologies that we've built up over the course of 5 different movies. Actually, 7 when you factor in the 2 Avengers films.
Right.
And it all just comes to a head when Zemo exposes that Captain America knew about the murder of Iron Man's mother and father. So even though you have the Martha scene in Batman v Superman, and you have the "I don't care, he killed my mom" scene in Civil War, it works in Civil War because these 2 guys were already at a head. Their ideologies were already completely opposed because they had 2 different lives, 2
Mhm.
different experiences with how this stuff plays out. And they were already opposed to one another. They were friends, they cared about each other, and they were willing to set their differences aside when they needed to. And all it took was this one inciting incident to make them finally just crack and try to resolve their issues the way they typically do, through through violence, basically.
And another thing that I think that they really dropped the ball with Batman v Superman, is Batman could have easily recruited so many people that were affected by what Superman had done. I feel like there had to have been 1 or 2 people with powers, or somebody that had, was affected by the buildings collapsing around them. Like Superman, the DC universe is not the only universe with, or Superman is not the only person in the DC universe with powers, is what I'm trying to say. And I felt
Yeah,
like
but
that was a missed opportunity for Batman, to kind of recruit people and set up those contingency plans with multiple other people to kind of combat him, which again would have been way better.
well, he didn't need that because this iteration of Batman is psychic. And we know for a fact that he's psychic because we see them fight on a rooftop. We see Superman grab Batman and fly through multiple buildings and crash land somewhere. And that somewhere that they crash land just happens to be where Batman put the kryptonite spear. There's no possible way that he would have known that's the direction that Superman would have thrown him or flown with him. He didn't make any effort to lure him that way. No, that's just where the fight ended up. And he knew that's exactly where it was going to end up because he could see the future. That's
Yeah.
why he didn't worry about killing those people. He was just like, I can see the future. They're going to be bad guys their whole life. I might as well just murder them.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we could go on and on, but that was the main thing I just wanted to bring up with my kind of biggest opinions with the differences between Marvel and DC, and just exactly what Marvel does right and what DC really just dropped the balls with.